The Jhargram mini zoo, located in around 2 kilometers from the Jhargram town of the Jhargram district in West Bengal, is a marvelous small zoological garden cum deer park that has added to the crown of the town. This zoological park was opened by the state forest departments and is usually inhabited by variety species of deer, snakes, crocodiles, rabbit, wolf, peacock, bears and various types of monkeys, and several varieties of trees can be seen here. It is a very good place to chill out with children as well as adults for exploring the fauna of dry deciduous forest zone of West Bengal. The zoo has an exclusive large area with widespread artificial habitat created for its inhabitant. A large number of deer species are undergoing breeding exposure here and is extensively important for their introduction into the wild. Spotted deer, cheetal or axis deer, barking deer, sambar deer, and the largest antelope of the Indian subcontinent, the blue bull or the nilgai, are undergoing breeding programs here. There is also a small vulture production center here to increase the number of vulture for introducing them into the wild, as the number of vultures in West Bengal and adjoining states of eastern India has gone down considerably over the period. The other animals that are being under special consideration here and which are being pushed towards extinction and needs conservation support includes that of fishing cat, wild cat, as well as important species such as Indian wolf and hyena or striped hyena that are abundant in Indian forest. It is important to continue the breeding of these endangered animals under protective habitat so as to increase their number over the time so that they can be released back into their natural environment. However, it must be noted that the maintenance of the zoo is not par up to the mark. The feeding areas of many of the herbivores, particularly the large herbivores, are being crowded with the branches of food supplies that are being deposited day after day and that are not being cleaned properly, so that it is adding up to the garbage area and making it difficult for the herbivores to access the green fresh leaves that are being supplied every day as their direct food menu. Several of the cages are not being cleaned properly and are full of dust and growth of weeds and are not being taken care of. Big cages containing birds or animals do not have a top protection, including the mackays and monkeys. Jhargram, being located in the dry area of West Bengal, has an intense summer heat of around 40 degrees average per day. Under this intense heat, not providing a top cover on the roof of the cages is extremely detrimental for the animals and birds that are being exposed to daily heat units of several scale that is of course detrimental to their health and can reduce their life expectancy. These are simple observations that we made on behalf of Kalinga Chronicle as we toured the zoo, that the maintenance needs to be improved. Although the facilities for visitors, including toilets, restaurants, frequent garbage bins and all, it's a plastic free zone, and all other areas for taking photos and all these amenities for public has been pretty good and appreciable, the condition of the animals and the birds, particularly the larger ones, needs to be improved, particularly their protection from heat and cleaning, a proper cleaning of the cages which are running over with weeds. This needs to be brought into the observation of the West Bengal Forest Department, who is in charge of the forest of the region as well as the zoological garden, so that they can take appropriate action to improve the habitat in which this wildlife is being kept. Improving the quality of the habitat will only help in increasing the wildlife number. It will increase the breeding potential because the environment becomes suitable for the animals to breed peacefully within this area. Although the area dedicated or demarcated for each species is quite appreciable and very large, but due to the lack of maintenance of these vast areas, I think it is important that care is being taken to remove the solid waste that is accumulating here in large numbers and deteriorating the environment. Same is the case of the cages of large flightless birds like emu and other animals that we have observed, including the leopard, where weeds are overgrowing the areas. They do not have proper shades. There needs to be inclusion of shade trees in the habitat area so that the animal can take refuge from the heat and protect themselves during the hottest part of the day. With these small modifications, Jhargram Mini Zoo can become a central attraction in western part of the Bengal state and an important place for both exotic and endemic species for breeding as well as for reintroduction into the wild. Care should be taken in the handling of the animals, where I think we've observed that the staff numbers is quite low, and hence it is quite challenging to maintain the vast area of the zoo, both in terms of proper maintenance of the animal and also for the security of the animals under the protection of the zoo. For breeding purposes, there needs to be a proper research unit established within the zoo that can take care of day-to-day observation of how the animals are improving. The overall health of the animals appears, particularly in case of herbivores, a section of them, particularly the females, appear to be undernourished or malnourished, and the situation needs to improve. The number of animals, particularly the deers in their cages, have increased exponentially, and many of them are in the need of being transported to other facilities or being reintroduced into the wild habitat. Unless this is being done, the overpopulation in many cages is detrimental for the zoo in its breeding program and also towards the conservation of the program. Overall, this is a nice organization and a wonderful place for people to visit and enjoy a day out with the kids. Shoykot Kumar Basu, Bureau Report, Kalinga Chronicle TV.